On this episode, I called it, I said it was coming, the time is now.
This real estate stuff is not easy, so send me your questions and I will answer them. This is the Ask Jason Show.
Hello everybody, my name is Jason Piercey and this is episode 150, we decided, right? Yeah, 152 of this Ask Jason Show. That's me. Wow, what is with my voice? Okay, so ever since I got, the incident that, the accident, I know everybody's sick of talking about it. I'm sick of it, promise you that, but I don't have a spleen anymore. And I learned that your spleen is where your body stores the memory of how to fight off stuff. So like if you get like infections and everything, that's where all the antibodies, I'm pointing here because I think this is where it used to be. It could have been here. I don't really know. All I know is it could be, I have no idea. It could be in the hair that got cut off. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's what's happening. Anyway, it's where your body stores all of the stuff that it learned throughout your life on how to fight off a cold or an infection or all that kind of stuff. So now every time I get the sniffles or a scratchy throat, it takes forever to deal with because it's like baby's first sore throat. So now my voice has been like this for like the better part of 2 weeks, which has almost no upside, except I'm a terrible singer. So sometimes now, I'm still not a good singer, but at least I've got like a cool tone and approach that at least people would be like, oh, he's got a cool voice. And if I sing like, what's a good one? Howlin' Wolf? Oh yeah, okay. Well, you're going way back. I was gonna go with Tom Waits. Tom Waits. I can't believe I said Watts. Wow. Tom Waits. What's the song? I hope that I don't fall in love with you. You know the one? And I hope that I don't fall. Yeah, that one? Yeah, see, nailed it. Me and Tommy. Anyway, when I was younger, the only one I could do was like Bob Dylan. So I was sort of like, and I remembered it, I got it because I was watching This Hour's 22 Minutes as a kid. And they were doing a Bob Dylan impersonation. He was singing about Wayne Gretzky. And I just remember him saying, Gretzky sucks. And that was the whole bit. I don't know. Anyway, Gretzky obviously doesn't suck. He's the great one, the greatest of all time so far. Anyway, what are we doing here? Oh yeah, it's the Ask Jason Show. So, if you watched up till now, it's too late. But maybe in the beginning, we'll put a little thing in that says if you care about the actual content of the show, fast forward to like a minute 45 or however long, because now I'm actually going to get into the point of this. For a number of months now, I have been saying over and over again here at the Ask Jason Show, all over my personal Facebook and Instagram, all over my TikTok, which is at AskJasonNL, I think, and all over the Ask Teams social media platforms everywhere, that our prices have not come down, even though interest rates went up significantly because of supply and demand, and we just haven't had any inventory. But I've been having like a warning out there that if you want to sell in the next year, 2 years, you need to do it now, because when the weather gets nicer and spring comes upon us, the people who think that you need the weather to be nice to list your house for sale, which is backwards, by the way. Buyers don't come out because it's sunny. They come out to see things that are for sale. Like, if they're not out, it's because there are no listings, not because it's dirty out. We live in Newfoundland. I expect rain every day. That's an inside joke because a minute ago I looked at my phone and it said, expect rain in St. John's. I expect rain in St. John's every day. And that's where the thing about my arm and the pressure and the hurting that you didn't hear, you don't know about, but you said you might put in the post-credit. Yeah, okay, so now you gotta hear the post-credit. So anyway, wow, yes. What a circumlocution. Great word. Yeah, do you know that word? No? Circumlocution? Great word. The local king of the circumlocution is Jim Furlong. A little good news from NTV. See, on this day in history, blah 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 blah, and it was King Henry V's birthday. Why don't you just say it's King Henry V's birthday? Why you gotta go, you're like Grandpa Simpson. You're like Abe Simpson saying, and I wore a box on my head, which was the style at the time. And we would wear onions around our neck. And he would go on and on and on and on just to get to like from A to B. He went all the way through Q, stopped off at P, needed a leak, made his way, made that up on the way. Anyway, sort of got stuck in the middle there. But giving Mr. Furlong some credit, nobody tells a story like you, Jim. I am a fan. This is endearing, supportive love, the same way that I make fun of Director Joe because he doesn't have any hair. But I mean, I don't know. Are you bald, Jim? I don't think you are. I feel like you have luscious hair. Anyway, what are we doing here? We haven't had inventory. And we have been saying in the spring, inventory will come up. As inventory comes up, the pent-up demand will absorb it. And it'll balance out. We won't have that supply-demand offset. And when that happens, you will see prices come down because competition will make it so just through supply and demand, and also because interest rates will finally begin to matter to pricing in our local market. I've been saying it for a while. Well, at the Ask team on our socials, every Monday we do a Market Monday. So I do like a green screen video where we have this image actually with all of this data is there, and then I do a green screen thing with it in the background, and I talk over it to explain what all the things are, which looks like this. I'll move it down so you have room. Is that better, Joe? Okay, now is that better? Okay, all right. So what we do is I go over like the last 7 days, tell you what date it is of, and talk about how many new listings went up in our market. So how many new pieces of inventory were added to our supply. And then I talk about whether or not there were price decreases, how many of them, because that matters, because you don't reduce prices if stuff is selling, right? The more price decreases you have, the more indication that the market is changing, because if people are fighting for properties, they don't fight to see who buys it for cheapest. That's not how it goes the other way. So we look over all the new inventory, all of the price decreases, how many things went under contract, so they're effectively off the market while they wait for conditions to be satisfied. And then when those conditions are satisfied, they're just unavailable, they're considered firm or enforceable, if you will. That hurt. Oh yeah. Just some lingering stuff. What we have found, not this past week, the week before, if we take all of the new listings that came up, which is, don't put the picture back up. We take all of the new listings that came up and we take all of the ones that came off the market, we're left with a surplus or an increase in overall inventory. So an increase in the supply that our market offers that can interact with the demand that's pent up. So the week before last, I think it was like we increased by 120 something listings in general, 120 something pieces of inventory. And that was including like however many went under contract, however many sold, however many pending, including all of the price reductions. We had this much new inventory. And then last week, we had another 220 something new pieces of inventory. Now, that's not just new listings, because there were well over 300 new listings. It's all of the new listings, less the ones that came off of the market. So it is the net addition of supply. So in the last 2 weeks, probably by the time you see this, it'll be significantly more. The net increase in inventory in the last 2 weeks is over 400 listings. Almost 400 listings. In a good year, our whole real estate board processes 3,000 transactions. Okay? We got 400 new pieces of inventory in the last 2 weeks. The moment that I have been talking about when it was going to be too late and you would have to wait is nearly upon us. So the prices on average, if you could draw the line, a mean through all of the points, pricing on real estate goes like this. It goes up over time, but it goes up like this. And we've talked about this before. For the last number of months, the last year even, we've been here, right there on that part. Now, all of this happened before. We won't go back there. All of this is still going to happen in the future. Absolutely. We were right there. Now this data is telling us that we're like right here, maybe. And what that means is that if you want to sell this year, you need your house listed like now. If you don't do it, what is it now? Like the 5th, 6th of June or something? If you're not up before the end of June, I don't know if this summer is right for you. I reserve the right to be wrong, okay? Because the data could change next month. I don't know. Maybe interest rates will drop to 2% again. I hope so, but I doubt it. So I could be wrong, but we did this part already. Now we're looking down the barrel of this part. Don't worry about the future. This is still happening, right? We're just talking about a few percentage points up and down along that way. It's coming. We called it. We've been talking about it for weeks and months, and now the data shows it. We're increasing in inventory, and when that happens, the demand eats up the excess supply until we get balanced. Then supply and demand can create a situation where interest rates will affect demand more than the supply does, and then we'll see our prices level out and slowly drop. So it's happening. If you want to sell, it's happening. Now, it's happening. We're not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're talking about the difference in getting 425 and 415. The difference between getting 415 and 400. And they matter, okay? Like that difference matters. I'm currently settling what's going to happen with the matrimonial home that my ex-wife and I had built and been together. And the current market matters. So if you're going to sell, do it now, or don't complain if you don't get the other 5 or 10 grand. But also, if it's a rental property, or it's your primary residence, or if it's like a cottage, a summer home, selling for less money, if you do the math on it, you figure it out, might not matter when it comes to your capital gains and your taxes. Might not matter. So think about that stuff. Get a good accountant. I got a great one. Oh my God, I feel like I won $150,000 lottery when she did my taxes. I have a great accountant. Look me up for that. Anyway, I think that's it. Hey Joe, anything else? Anything else you want to do? No. No, I bet you want to do this. Live long and prosper. Sell your houses when you should. And don't be emotional about it. Be like Sheldon Cooper. Spock. Same character.
The Ask Jason Show exists so that you can get good real estate related information from a resource that you can trust. Now, speaking of resources you can trust, here's a couple I would trust to work with my mom. Because good enough for mom, good enough for you.